Hey there YouTube, I decided I need to get some Yu-Gi-Oh videos on my channel, so I'll start here. This is my Majestic Star Dragon deck. I built this very recently. I'm still testing it at the moment. I'm trying out various different ideas in it. Still a few cards I don't have, but I'm working on that. I'm going to take it to the locals this weekend and see how it does. So, yeah. I've seen different ways of doing this. I even saw somebody on YouTube doing this and doing Majestic Star Dragon with sort of the dark variant, you know, 2 Dark Grepher, Destiny Hero Malicious, Plague Spreader Zombie, and then going from there into Stardust and then into Majestic Star Dragon. I've based this deck around the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon summoning engine, which is the kind of the engine you effectively find in Disaster Dragon or any variant of Hopeless Dragon. So, yeah, I'll get on with this. I'll try and do it as quickly as possible. I'll try not to explain everything. So here's the lineup. First up, monsters. 3 Majestic Dragon, because you need it for Majestic Star Dragon. Yeah, I'm going to try not to explain too much. 1 Stardust Phantom. This is new from Storm of Ragnarok. If it's destroyed by your opponent's card, effect, or battle, you can special summon a Stardust Dragon from your graveyard in defense position. So that's basically just, you know, trying to keep a Stardust Dragon on my field as much as possible if they somehow manage to get over one. Next up, oh, and also it's a level 1 non-tuner to go with the Majestics for going into Majestic Star Dragon. Next up, 2 Stardust Xiaolong. Special summons from the graveyard if you synchro summon Stardust Dragon. Excellent for Majestic or Shooting Star Dragon. 1 Flamvel Guard. I'm actually just testing this out at the moment because that's the only non-Majestic Dragon tuner that level 1 tuner that I have. This is the only way I have of going into Formula Synchron. And so the only way I have going into Shooting Star Dragon, but I'm testing this out because I can get to it with Dragon Ravine and 1-for-1, so yeah, still an idea. 2 Dragonity Phalanx. These are level 2 tuners. I'll explain why they're there when we get to the spells. 1 Dread Dragon. This is one of the searchers of the deck. It's destroyed in battle. I don't need to explain that. It's a standard dragon searcher. Yeah, it's a level 2 tuner as well. Another strange tech idea. 1 Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Master. Now, because I've seen people side this in, but no one expects this game 1. So if you set that in game 1, if your opponent finds it, it'll not only be a surprise, but you can then bluff them. You can side it out and bluff them in game 2 and 3. So they'll expect it. They'll leave your monsters alone for longer because they think it's one of these. So that's a nice surprise. 2 Masked Dragon. These are the other searchers of the deck. Or, well, technically they're recruiters, but yeah. I'm rambling, sorry. Yeah, I don't need to explain what they do. You mainly go into Delta Flyer with those. And speaking of Delta Flyer, there's 3 of these. Fantastic card, main tuner of the deck. Almost always used to go into Stardust Dragon. It's just a brilliant card. Just so good in this deck because with 1 of these and a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon on the field, I can go, and a level 2 monster, as long as it's not a tuner, I can go into Trident Dragon, which is an alternate win condition. So yeah, 3 Delta Flyer, main tuner of the deck. 1 Vanguard of the Dragon. This is an interesting tech choice I'm trying out. It's basically used for stocking the graveyard if you've got useless things in your hand. Also it's level 4, so it goes with Delta Flyer to create Stardust Dragon. 2 Red Eyes Wyvern, because 3 is overkill and I've got enough searching power in the deck to get to them when I need them. Yeah, and they basically allow you to go into these from the graveyard, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragons. 3 of those, because they're awesome, and if you have one on the field, it basically gives you 2 dragons per turn, which is good, so you can use that to your advantage. And if you have a Majestic Dragon in your hand, or Xiaolong for instance, you summon that, special summon something else from the graveyard, you can go into Majestic Star Dragon every turn. So yeah, that's good. So that's the monsters. This is also the main summoning engine of the deck. I'm sorry, I'm really confused about this now. Yeah, this is the main summoning engine of the deck. We're over 5 minutes already, that's not good. I was going to try and do this quickly and not explain too much. But, onto the spells. First things first, the explanation as to why Dragonity Phalanx. Well, for two reasons. One is cards of consonance, which I ran 2 of, because with Flamvell Guard as well, there's 6 targets, 3 Majestic Dragon, 1 Flamvell Guard, 2 Dragonity Phalanx. Now, not only does this allow you to put a Majestic Dragon in your graveyard for you to bring out later, obviously it's draw power. The other reason for the Dragonity Phalanx is this, Dragon Ravine. And if you don't have any more Phalanx in your deck, you can discard a card to send a Dragon-type monster from your deck to your graveyard instead. So if you discard a Wyvern, use it to send a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and then end your turn, you get a Red Eyes on the field with just 1 discard. And of course you can add Phalanx to your hand instead by discarding a card, and which then you can play cards of consonance for. So, yeah. The other main things specific to this deck, or well, nearly specific, 1 for 1, fantastic card. It's a real shame I can only run 1, but never mind. Just speeds up summoning majestic stuff so much, because it summons a level 1 monster from your hand or deck. All you have to do is discard a monster, and discarding a monster is good in this deck because everything's useful. So yeah, usually discard a Starless Shaolin for that, if possible. And Future Fusion, because it's a dragon deck, and anything that revolves around dragons needs Future Fusion to target 5-headed dragon, and it's not actually intended to summon 5-headed dragon. You very rarely do that, but if you do get to summon it, it's good, because it's a 5,000 attack beat stick that can only be destroyed in battle by light monsters. So yeah, that just stocks your graveyard with stuff to use later. And then there's 1 gold Sark, just to get to your Future Fusion quicker. If you've already got Future Fusion, you usually go for Monster Reborn or 1 for 1 with that. Yeah, that's kind of it really. And then I've got some just staple spells. 1 book, yeah, darn, new ban list. 1 Dark Hole, because you can't really do without it. 1 Reborn, because it's good. 1 MST, rid of back row hate. And 1 Nobleman. Now I still run this because at my locals there's a couple of Gravekeepers decks running around, and if you hit a spy with that, that's really good. And actually, if you find someone running a Raikou, hit Raikou with that, that's good, and remove all of them. So yeah, that's the spells. And just finally the traps. Most of these are standard. We've got well, it's basically negation and more negation. I've got 2 bottomless, because pretty much everyone runs 2 bottomless, and if you don't run 2 bottomless you put yourself at a disadvantage, slightly. 1 Divine Wrath, this is good, negates effect monsters, not necessarily on the field. It can negate Honest, Gauze, things like those as well, things that activate in the graveyard. Although, to be fair, things that activate in the graveyard, things like Plague Spreader or Vayu, they just do it again. So yeah, this negates things that activate in the hand as well. I'm rambling again. 1 normal trap hole. I've seen more and more people use this, and actually it's really good, because obviously with Debris Dragon still at, is it 2? I think it's 2. If they summon a Debris Dragon, yes, they can still special summon their monster because it's a trigger effect, but you can then destroy their Debris Dragon and they can't synchro with it. That's good. Then I've got 1 trap stun for more back row hate, just stops your opponent from cutting you off halfway to Majestic Star Dragon, and 2 Royal Decree. There's only room for 2 in here, although I'd like to run 3 if I could find room. I might take out the last trap for well, I'll explain that in a moment. Because if you get that on the field with the Majestic Star Dragon, there's basically nothing your opponent can do, because the only thing they could do to stop Majestic Star Dragon properly is to use a counter trap, and with Decree on the field they can't. So yeah, that's good. 1 Starlight Road, obviously basically helps to ease the way to getting Starless Dragon out, which makes it much easier to get Majestic Star Dragon out. Finally, urgent tuning. Now this is effectively another bluff. It's another surprise for the opponent. Just leave all the material on the field. They might think you've run out, but forgot to check first. So if you leave that face down on the field with all the material, they think, oh, it's safe to attack, hasn't got any more. Turn that over. I guarantee your opponent's expression will be priceless, because they're staring down a 3,800 attack point beat stick that will negate anything they do. Yeah. So that's the main deck. The extra deck is mostly standard. Iron Chain Dragon, just for a level 6. I like that card. Whoops. Ancient Fairy Dragon deals with Gravekeepers or anything else that revolves around a field spell. Also good, 1,000 free life points, which most people sort of overlook. Yeah. And also you can add Dragon Ravine to your hand with it. I'm getting a battery warning right now, that's not good. Black Rose Dragon, Field Wiper, or, well, Field Resetter, fairly staple. 2 Stardust Dragon, I'm going to try and find room for 3, I think, or possibly a second Black Rose first. But, no, probably 3rd Stardust Dragon if I can find room. That's it's completely staple, especially in this deck. One Thought Ruler is basically protects himself against Compulsory, Book, Deep Prison, etc. One Colossal Fighter because it's good at walling attacks for ages, all on its own. 1 Red Dragon, Archfiend, because I might be able to add Red Nova Dragon into the Majestic Red Dragon once I get it going properly and work out what needs speeding up. 1 Trident Dragon because it's an alternate win condition on its own. Really worried about that warning right now. Shooting Star Dragon. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I don't have a Formula Synchron at the moment, but I will be getting one soon, so I can put it in and then I'll be able to use Flamville Guard to go into my Formula and then into this, which is excellent because it doesn't return itself to the extra deck at the end of the turn. 2 Majestic Star Dragon. Yeah, I don't have these either at the moment. Those aren't ultimates, they're printouts. I know, it's cheap, but I will be getting those soon. So yeah, the main powerhouse of the deck. It's great, you can tribute it to negate any of your opponent's effects and destroy all the cards they control. That's everything they have on the field. For a spell, trap or effect. Quick effect obviously, so it's damage step. You can, yeah. And if you tribute it like that, it stays in the graveyard, it won't return to the extra deck. So you can special summon it next turn with the red eyes. 1 Majestic Red, just because on the off chance I decide I want to do that instead, that's good, it can get ridiculously powerful. 1 Chimera Tech, Fortress Dragon, just for any machine matchups. Now there's all these Karakuris running around, I side in a pair of Cyber Dragons for that. And 1 5-headed Dragon for the future fusion target. Just really quickly now go through the side deck. Sorry, this is taking longer than I thought. Instead of doing a normal side deck, I thought I'd do the side deck of changing the build quite a lot. So I've gone for this, Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. So yeah, so obviously, oh dear, 2 Stardust Dragon Assault Mode, because that's what the side deck does. Lighten the load, allows you to put them back in again. 3 Assault Mode Activate, obviously gets Stardust Assault on the field. 2 Arcane Apprentice, when used to Synchro Summon, add an Assault Mode Activate to your hand. That's good. 3 Assault Beast, I don't have these at the moment either, but you can discard this to get an Assault Mode Activate to your hand, so it speeds up getting to them. And then I've just got 4 cards which I use in most other matchups. 2 Cyber Dragons, of course, for also it's good for quick Synchro Summoning, and of course for Chimera Tech against machine decks. 1 Gauze, and 1 Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 6. Now this is just an experiment at the moment to see if I can side it in, because obviously it's not affected by Dark Hole, not affected by Book of Moon, etc, etc. So yeah, that's the deck and its strange random ideas. Tell me what you think of them, leave a comment, like it. Even if you don't like it anyway. No one will know. Sorry, I'm rambling. But yeah, that was my Majestic Star Dragon deck. I'll be putting up a video of my Morphtronic Power Tool Turbo deck soon. So, yeah, see you guys later.